Good evening and welcome to your Citrus TV News Brief. I'm Jamie Weiss and here are tonight's top stories.
Many North Texans are enjoying their 4th of July here on Lake Ray Hubbard.
It was a gorgeous day here on campus and just look at the Hall of Languages.
Walking along Main Street in the village of Camillus, voter turnout is not as high as residents expected it to be.
The 5 officers were killed after a rally in downtown Dallas that aimed to bring attention to the officer-involved shootings in Louisiana and Minnesota earlier this week.
The polls have been open for about a half hour, and in that time span, we've seen almost 60 people come in to voice their vote. Thousands of people have been flocking to Rochester to lay stickers, just like these ones, on the grave sites you see behind me. Volunteers have been at the Onondaga County Board of Elections all day to securely move voting booths to their polling place by November 8th. As you can see behind me, some volunteers are currently loading up their truck, but they're not the only ones. Take a look right here. There's another truck waiting to be filled. Life on the road can be pretty tough, but not when you're riding in style. It ain't a Lamborghini, but this car sure got buns. We're taking a ride in the Wienermobile.
On Election Day 2016, people from across the country flocked to Rochester, New York, to honor the life, dedication, and commitment of suffragette Susan B. Anthony. However, there is another woman who not only fought for women's rights, but for social justice across central New York.
Matilda Joslyn Gage is an unknown suffragist that we're making known. She went way beyond equality for women. She saw a need to really recreate society in all of its aspects, from a competitive society into a cooperative one.
Sally Rush Wagner is the woman that brings Gage back to life. Wagner became passionate about Gage when she discovered her mother was friends with Matilda's granddaughter. Upon meeting the Gage legacy, Wagner read through 100-year-old letters and was immediately hooked.
That was in 1973. That was the beginning of the rest of my life.
Wagner moved to Fayetteville to restore the home Gage lived in. While researching Gage, Wagner found another unique relationship.
Matilda Joslyn Gage wasn't the only activist of the family. Her passion for women's rights rubbed off on another person, her son-in-law,
Actor turned writer L. Frank Baum,
the creator of The Wizard of Oz.
It's not coincidence that this man in the 19th and early 20th century came up with these characters. Matilda Joslyn Gage, his mother-in-law, was his major influence.
Gage was Wagner's major influence, too.
The journey has taken me in the most unexpected directions. I think the most clarifying moment for me with that was the first time I was arrested as Matilda Joslyn Gage.
Wagner said she has been arrested 3 times because Gage taught her to stand up for what she believes in. After Tuesday's election results, the same holds true.
A culture is as good as it treats its women. That's what I hear in my ears from these women, is that no, you don't settle. You keep moving.
And Wagner will keep moving for the rest of her life. In Fayetteville, Jamie Weiss, NCC News. Every year, Syracuse University's Whitman School of Management produces thousands of successful students. Only 20 minutes from campus, you can find one exception. Masters alum Michael Woloszyn decided to push his intended career aside for something much sweeter.
I got assigned the topic of chocolate, and that was only January of 2010. And I'd never really tasted real chocolate before. Just to put a small paragraph in my thesis, I researched artisan chocolate and went to go work with an artisan chocolate maker in Albany, New York, of all places. And I just wanted to watch her. So I showed up in a full suit. She put me to work for the day and made up my mind from right that moment forward. I was going to make chocolate the rest of my life.
Lune Chocolat opened up in 2011 with the idea of combining sugar, spice, and all things nice to create a unique chocolate experience. The second you walk into the store, you'll be overwhelmed with the smell of chocolate. And if you're lucky, you'll get to take a bite out of something new.
My favorite one is on the bottom shelf there. It's called the Chai Buddha, and it's the first chocolate I ever created. I looked at the mold, and the mold just cried out for something unique. So that's the first chocolate I ever designed was a chai boot. I actually have it tattooed on my forearm too, that chocolate.
Michael told me that to him and his wife Emily, Lune Chocolat has become a family. While the husband-wife duo hold opposite shifts, everyone who visits the store or works alongside them can feel the chocolate love.
I think it just induces happiness. I don't know. It's just like a very different atmosphere. So I honestly just love coming in and working here. I never have a bad day here.
It's very fun, it's very friendly, it's very soothing to work with chocolate. But for me, just very good for the soul. And nobody's ever eaten a piece of chocolate and been miserable.
In Manlius, Jamie Weiss, NCC News.
SU DPS held a press conference today after multiple calls reporting clowns on campus yesterday night.
That's right, the sightings are the latest in a string of creepy clown reports across the nation.
DPS says none of the reports were able to be confirmed.
And DPS released this statement saying, quote, "All were investigated. No evidence of crime was uncovered. No one dressed in such costumes were found by responding officers, nor was there any video of such persons. Officers also gave advice on what to do if you spot a clown on campus. Here's what they had to say.
U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and Google hosted a free workshop in downtown Syracuse today to help small businesses use the web. Gillibrand spoke at the launch of the workshop at Sky Armory in Armory Square. Google helped business owners by showing them how to create and publish custom websites. The Dallas police force is hurting after Thursday's shooting, but a North Texas first grader is showing them how to make lemonade out of lemons. 6-year-old Charlie Argo set up a lemonade stand outside of his house in Burleson. Volunteer firefighters and families from all over Burleson stopped by to grab a cup of lemonade, cookies, or just to make a donation.
Coming out and coming together does more than just pressing a button on the computer and sending money over. You know, anybody can do that, but if we can all just come out as a group, maybe it'll send a message.
Charlie says the money will go to the families of the fallen officers. Those are the stories you need to know as you head out the door this morning. Coming up, we take a look at your weekend forecast next on NBC5 Today.